Right guys, thought I'd do a video update today with a few thoughts. There've been a few bits and pieces in the media that have been quite interesting, which sort of highlights some of the stuff I do think about. It's bad when you actually confirms what you think though, that's the sad bit. It's a bit like all this money being pumped into Ukraine, and the Polish Prime Minister's picked up on the fact of the relationship between how much of its agricultural land and, well, yeah, its agricultural production is controlled by foreign countries. Oh, companies. Is a country more important than a company these days? I'd actually say the difference between a country and a company is a company can cross borders and get away with it, where countries have a problem because they call it war. But yeah, that's been picked up because they're starting to see the relationship between the farmers and the buyouts. I've got to agree. You look at the whole of Europe, the problems with the farmers around this green initiative and all this nonsense. You watch how subsidies now will fit some while wiping out others. This is the bits you've got to watch for, because this is where your rising food costs come from. Anyway, moving on from that, it just sort of highlights the relationships that go on around the old imperialism and colonies and control, because if a government's giving you something, something's been taken. So yeah, interesting thing. The other thing is I'm seeing a lot more stuff on the stuff that's going on in London. I've got to admit, my view on it is sidestep it. What's going on in Israel, etc. It's very little of our concern. Some stoke that fire, and what goes on there, I'm not even getting involved in. I don't think there's a solution. They don't have a solution. People have tried to negotiate with them. They don't want to negotiate. So at that point, yeah, don't want to hear it anymore. There's no point having the conversation. So moving on, wipe that off the table. The key thing here is how we keep things positive and keep things moving. One of the things I've started to do more is focus more on my health a lot more lately. Because being home, my wife fattens me up because I eat a lot more here. Because in the UK, I might eat one meal a day, maybe two, but majority of the time one, which is when I get back in the evening, because I'm often leaving the house early in the morning, so I may not eat. So, you know, my food costs are lower, and my weight gain is lower as well, just by default. But I've been doing this VR workout, which I'm finding really good. It's more focused on like boxing and like kickboxing, and I can feel it every time you do it. It hurts, you know. You finish on it and you can feel it sort of throbbing. You know it's doing its job, and I'm loving that. I'll do a video and put it on here just to show you can see it. Looks a bit odd on VR. I'm not going to show you me standing in my shorts in the house. I'll just show you the VR workout. But you got to bear in mind, when I'm throwing punches, I'm physically throwing them. It's not a case of it's like sitting at the computer. No, you're actually standing there doing all this. You know, you're doing, you know, you're pulling things down, smack them on your knee, and you can feel them like the vibrations in your fingers. I can't wait till they bring out gloves and stuff so you can actually get, you know, some proper feeling on it. So like when you punch something, you can feel it like on your knuckles and stuff. I love all that. But it's good because it's not difficult to do, because there's lots of different settings in there for, you know, like if you've only got like say 10 minutes spare, you can do an intense workout, and you'll hit like say 150 calorie burn and come out going, yeah, I need to relax for a bit because your shoulders are hurting and whatever, because it's been quite intense. But then I've got like a steady one, which is 20 minutes a time, which I'll do 3 times a day. I've also got my treadmill here, but the problem is I like using my treadmill because my job roles changed. Where I'd normally spend a lot of time on the phone doing emails and stuff is spreadsheets. I can't use the mouse with the spreadsheets because I use the keyboard and mouse at the same time. You do that while you're trying to walk, it becomes quite difficult. It's not like you're typing an email, not an issue. When you're using the mouse and the keyboard, it's difficult. You make too many mistakes. So the interesting thing with that is that the treadmill's sort of on a pause at the minute, but this job's not forever. But I already see the value of this, because even you think, oh, I'll do a break for 10 minutes, go make a cup of tea, it's too hot, walk on the treadmill for 15 minutes, have your cup of tea, go back to work for a bit, go on the treadmill for 15 minutes. It's not difficult when it's sat right next to you. See, when I'm in Northampton, one of the problems I have is bloody Canadian geese. They crap everywhere. There's a lot of them. So you get all this bird crap all over the footpaths. And you're thinking, do I really want to go over the park? Or you look out and it's raining. And you think, oh, I don't really want to do that. So you've got to sort of, the treadmill would be ideal there, but the room's too small. So I do have to walk in the park, unfortunately. But small sacrifices. The main thing is making the changes and just keeping at it. I think that's the important bit, is try and take the focus away from this constant noise that we're suffering with. And it is suffering because it's in your house 24/7. It doesn't matter what you're doing, even on your phone. You go on a website, and next thing is trying to pop up notifications about what bloody Kate Winslet or whoever's doing it. Get rid of them all. Another one I want to talk today about is subscriptions, because we talk about money savings, etc. But there's a key thing here. When you look at subscriptions, what are you subscribing for? And you go, well, I don't have any subscription, Matt. Well, you'll have your Netflix, common ones, Netflix, Prime, maybe Sky TV, Game Pass, gym membership. Look how much it costs in the gym, and then work out how often you go there. And if it's cheaper for you just to pay as you go, because you may pay £20 a month or whatever, and if you go twice, it's £8. It's just little things, but they do make a difference. So you do that. You look at Prime, Netflix, YouTube. I think YouTube Premium's doing it now. How much adverts are going in this stuff? Didn't we pay initially so we didn't have adverts? Wasn't that part of the whole setup? Adverts are everywhere now, and it's getting to the point where I'm starting to lose interest in watching stuff, especially on this. I've got to admit, YouTube's the worst for it. There's that, you're getting more and more ads, but you've got to bear in mind a lot of the content you have may only be 10 minutes long or 2 minutes long. So you get small clips, then you got advert, small clips, advert. Gets to the point you're going, you know what, this ain't even worth watching anymore. But you bear in mind, this is where they start going, have a premium. But the premium isn't the solution, because they'll just change it again. Companies have got extremely greedy. My personal view is, get rid of it. Buy yourself a hard drive. Like, I've got a multimedia setup where with that I can record whatever I like and stick it on there and watch it through a multimedia player. Most of the stuff out there isn't worth the amount which is being charged on a monthly basis. Now, the Xbox one, because I'm an Xbox guy, I generally don't play it with multiplayer. So I don't like buying games online either. I've got lots of these little green boxes because, let's face it, you own it. When you buy like Steam or whatever, you're only borrowing it at a premium. They're also charging too much for most of the stuff on there. I recommend going to a place like Game, what's that exchange place? There's another exchange place in the UK. If you want games, go there. I can buy games in there for like £3 second hand that are still at full price on Steam. I do recommend it, and thankfully there's so many people out there that will buy a game, lose interest, and decide they want to buy something else. They sell it all cheap, so why do we want to pay a premium? These are little things that can reduce your monthly costs. The same with phones. You know, I use a phone as a phone, bizarrely, so I don't need the top of the range. Okay, yes, it is the top of range Z flip phone, but that's because I could afford it, and I didn't get it on a lease. I didn't get it locked into a 2-year contract or anything else. I own it. And I thought long and hard about it before I bought the phone, and then I bought it because my other phone, the Chinese one, Yowie, nothing seems to work on it anymore. It's that battle between Google and the US government v the Chinese seem to have destroyed my phone. Great phone, but Android app doesn't work. I mean, I have put third party on it previously, but I've got to the point where it's like, yeah, it's a great phone, I'll use it for videos, but I can't even upload it onto YouTube because it's now a camera and phone where I need to put it into the computer to actually upload the videos. What a farce. But it does show the relationships between governments and corporations as well, which is concerning. Hence we get back to the farming at Poland, and because that's, you know, why Poland's blocking the Ukrainian grain and stuff. It's a lot deeper than people can see, because the media only give this little bit. We want you to see this bit, ignore all that, just this bit. But yeah, you want to get rid of as many subscriptions as possible, because you'll find some of them hidden away as well. The other one is things like the Just Eats and all that crap. I do recommend ditching all of it. I mean, really do. I mean, I remember, funny enough, somebody else sort of highlighted this to me the other day, because I don't really use them too much unless, you know, like it's 11 o'clock at night and I can't be bothered to go and get something. You know, because maybe I've been out all day, done some paperwork, forgot to eat, and then ordered my dinner when I should. It's my fault, because I should actually have gone, you know what, to hell with work. I've already finished. It's not my fault the bloody place is 4 hours away. But that's part of the changes. We'll go over that in a minute. But with this, you look at the premiums they're charging. They're starting to add these at Uber Eats and Uber this. Look at the cost of Ubers now and the different tiers that they've got. And they're not getting any cheaper, and they charge a premium fee as well. And then you start looking at Uber Eats and stuff where you go, your fee, then there's like a fee like they'd be charging to put it in the box or whatever that they normally do for free. And then you may find that the charges are more expensive online as well. My view is, same as everything else, if people are starting to rip me off, I don't buy there anymore. I stopped buying there completely. At the same time, I ring the Indian restaurant up right down the road. He'll deliver it anyway without all that premium charge on it. They've made these apps as if they're doing us a favour. They're not. They're exploiting us to the max. They start off cheap, and then they've become excessively greedy. My view is, once bitten, twice shy. Get rid of it. Delete it off your phone. Get rid of it. Speak to your curry house or whatever when you're walking past them and say, "Dude, can I order stuff for you direct? And how much do you charge for it?" You know, because in the old days, it used to be, I remember the old biryani. Biryani was like £7, and then the delivery charge was £1. That was the old days. So how the hell does that get to like £3.50 plus 50 pence for putting it in a box, plus everything's gone up by about 10 pence, plus this, plus. What the hell with that? And if you minimum spend £12 or 15, some of them 20. Oh, apologies. We need to take some of this control back. And it doesn't even need to be any discussion with them. It's a bit like, what did I have the other day? There's something I did the other day, and then they sent me an email going, oh, can you just tell us about our servers? Can you tell it? No, get lost. We need to start being more aggressive and negative with them, because we shouldn't be engaging. We're not here. We do not work for them. They're trying to make out that they're doing us a favour. It's like when you go to supermarkets now, where you scan your own items, put it in your own bag. Oh, in fact, we'll charge you for a bag if you want to use one of our bags. Sorry, I'm confused here. Who's the customer? And it sounds negative, but it's not. It's just realising this is, A, it's taking people's jobs away, but B, we're not getting any better service. Service is getting worse. You look at a lot of the supermarkets in the UK and the quality of produce, a lot of it's crap. A lot of it's processed, a lot of it's false advertising. You look at cereals as a good example. There's a lot of sugar in that crap. We need to sort of not take a stance, because it's not a stance we need to do. It's just need to understand things better. And this is one of the things I was thinking about the last couple of weeks, is about going back to traditional diet. Because you see in some of these health things where people go, well, I haven't had to cut down, I haven't had to do this, I keep my same shape, blah, blah, blah. But what they forget is they're probably not eating any processed foods. They're probably limiting their quantities, etc. They've got a lot more control on what they're doing. See, my family upbringing is you eat everything on your plate. So if people put too much on your plate, you always eat it. It's just that natural thing. See, with my wife's family, they will have, like, say, they'll order a chicken, say, for example, and it's centrally, and you take bits of chicken and rice, etc. But anything that's left, they'll put a net over it, and it carries on to the next meal. So you can see how that may not work with somebody like me that's used to clearing a plate before the next meal, not just leave it, we'll eat some more chicken later on. So there's a whole complex piece on that. We start thinking about dieting and exercise and stuff. You've got to take it from multiple angles. So for example, you look at frozen chips. What are they putting on them? I mean, I'm not being funny. When I used to get a potato, they come in the sack. My mother used to sit and peel the spuds. She'd get a sack of spuds on, I think it was a Wednesday or whatever, and she'd make the chips. She'd boil, either boil the potatoes. She'd make mash. She'd make, well, boiled, or what do you call it? The roast potatoes or chips, but there's no extra content, there's no preservatives, there's no additives, there's no chemicals. And it's those sort of things that are getting into our food systems. And that's this, you start going, well, hang on. If I go back to the basics, I'm thinking of doing this in the UK just to sort of prove a point to myself. I'm going to stop eating anything that's processed and just try and see what difference it makes. Because I was always like fit up until I started work, basically. Because bear in mind, when I was at school, I did a lot of sports, went to the gym all the time, cycled to work school every day, etc. But as you start going to the work, you start driving there, you may not be eating on time, routines are all messed up, and then you start eating ready meals, because ready meals started coming in, because we didn't have ready meals when I was a kid. Didn't exist. Didn't know what it was. I think we got a microwave in the 80s or something, probably about 1986, roughly. But the point being is, a lot of our diet has changed, and it's been done in such a subtle way. You look at the cereals and how much extra sugar's in that, and if you compared what was in cereals in, say, in 70s to now, the exact same ones, like say cornflakes, Weetabix, whatever, you'll see how much things have changed. It's all been added bit by bit. So maybe worth you trying the same is just going back to a traditional diet. Like go to an 80s diet or something, or 70s diet, where you may be eating chips and sausages and chips and gammon and very basic food. But doing it so none of it's processed and just seeing if it makes a difference, because I think it will. I think it'll make a massive difference, and I'm trying it. Don't get me wrong, at home in Spain, April does everything fresh. The problem is my wife and kids eat 4 meals a day, so it makes a massive difference to me, because like I said, I'm used to eating, if somebody puts food in me, I eat it. It's just been the way I've been brought up, because didn't eat it when I was a kid, been slapped over the head, dinner would go in the bin, and like you'll have nothing till tomorrow. Or the other one would be, all right, we'll stay on the table and you'll have your next meal. You can go into at traditional parenting. But the reason I bring that up is because I'm starting to do this thing where I'm starting to look at my health a lot more and my fitness a lot more. Because the diet stuff, I have already been making significant changes, but I do think this traditional eating will make a difference. So we'll see. I'm going to start monitoring it as well. So I might even buy a website. You know what? I might do a website and just put a journey piece on there, because I know a lot of people do these videos, but the problem with doing the videos is often a lot of the information's missing. If I sit and put it on, like this week, I'm eating Monday, Tuesday, I can start putting a program together that others can follow. Because the whole point of this is not me going, look how pretty I am. It's about actually saying, this is work, guys. Highly recommend it. Give it a try. And that's what it's about. You know, the whole channel, this channel, my How to Can It channel, they're all about helping others. I don't make any money on this stuff. In fact, my time is more precious if I took it from a money term. But I actually take it from the reality that I've helped a lot of people over the years. I've helped people go to the Philippines and other places that have never traveled before. I've helped people get out of their comfort zones. I've helped people sort their finances out. I've helped people develop themselves as an individual. That's what it's about. It's not about finance. You know, the whole channel is about us as people. You know, there's a strength in having a good network, because the whole basis of this, if I'm helping others and they pay it forward as well, we're making the place better, not worse. So that's important. This is why I try and steer away from the negative stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're in a weird place, really weird. I mean, every time I do my master's thing, there's diversity, this and blah blah blah, and I've got a blanket. You know, how am I promoting this? I mean, just as an example on the current module, how am I promoting diversity in my current business? Why would I be promoting diversity? Shouldn't have to promote it. Why? Well, if you see everybody's an equal, whoever applies for the job will get the job. That's true equality. I'm not replacing anybody simply because somebody's decided to cut their bits off and call themselves a woman or whatever. That's not how this works. I'm looking for the best person for the job. And it's all a bit peculiar, because what really concerns me is like the farming piece, is how this is going on everywhere. It's not a UK issue, it's not a US issue, it's becoming a global thing. How well orchestrated and manipulated are things today? But we're not going down the rabbit hole or being dragged into it. We sidestep it. Because it's like most noise. The noise needs more noise. It needs to be reacted. It needs to have something to feed off. If it isn't there, they're talking to themselves. And that's the key to this, is we just need to move past it all. You want to be called whatever. Yeah, you go over there. You call yourself whatever you like. That's fine. I'm not nothing to do with me. Oh, you need to accept me. No. I don't have to or have not to accept somebody. The reality is, they're nothing to do with me. We're only interested in what we're doing, and that they're not hurting other people. Beyond that, none of our business. We've got enough on our plates. The other thing is, I want to bring this up while I'm on the call. Look at me, I sound like a bloody Teams meeting now. If you're interested in doing a master's degree, you have to have a job. Well, you may not. You probably do actually have to have a job. You won't be able to fill the criteria in otherwise. If you want to do a master's degree in leadership and management, and I will warn you, it is tedious in some sections. Myself, I could probably just sit and do all 4 modules back to back if I had to spare time in about a month, 6 weeks. And the reason I say that is because you have to create the evidence. Otherwise, I'd be able to go, yeah. And it's all got to be within the time frame of the course. You can't go, I did this 4 years ago. It doesn't work. But you want to do that, or you want to do courses on counselling, well-being, and that sort of stuff for free, let me know, because for the UK, and I say for the UK is because there's government funding for this stuff if you're in the UK. Let me know and I'll put you in touch with people. No incentive for me whatsoever. I randomly got hold of these courses because I was looking for the Prince 2 courses which relate to project management for my project managers. So I was reaching out to all these different companies, and different courses come back and says, well, can't do Prince 2, but could do this one. Okay, I'll do that. And I signed up, like the council one, I signed up on it, sort of thinking it'll be like, oh yeah, a bit ad hoc, do it as and when. And then they all come back, we're like, oh, you have to have this by Friday, you got to be. I was like, whoa, hang on a minute. This is hard work. I think I did it in about 2 months, but the fact is, it was locked in. I had to do it, otherwise to pay like £100 for not completing the course. It was very manipulated, but at the same time, did the course. Glad I did it, because it covered things like counselling about people, different types of people, empathy, and other things that are useful for learning skills, which are also useful in business. Because especially when people talk about well-being now, I've got to admit some of my perspective has changed on the way I engage with people, because of having improved my listening skills, because I often give advice to people when in fact some of this actually says don't give anybody any advice. You should actually spend more time listening and get them to their own conclusions, which in a counselling session I agree. In business there may be better solutions, but part of it is listening, get all the information first. It's useful. So if you want to know those, just message me, and I'll point you in the direction of two places to do it. Master's degree the same. Beyond that, not a lot else to discuss today, funny enough. Just heading back to the UK very early tomorrow, back to work, but I'm going to try and do some more videos while I'm in the UK. I want to test this mic as well. I'll put this mic on today. This is my DJI one. I'm thinking of getting the little, what's it, Osmo or whatever it is, the DJI one, but can I justify £500? I don't know yet. I've got more important things at the minute, because I've got this camera, I've got a Theta 360 camera, we've got the Canon cameras, we've got drones, so hard to justify another camera at the minute. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please give us a thumbs up, please comment, I do appreciate it, because it does keep the channel going forward. But if you ever want to discuss anything, please feel free to put it in the comments, or if you want to private message me, you can do. But it's important to recognise everything around us is just noise. We just need to channel ourselves into the right direction of where we want to go. To hell with everybody else. I don't mean that in a negative way, it's just that We get this telling us what to do all day long, and we need to just go, no, we know what our channel is. We'll sit and work out what we want to do. We know what we want to achieve. We're looking at our own goals and our own objectives. We know what financial security looks like. We know what debt management looks like. We know we don't need this year's Mercedes when we can have the one that's 2 years old that's got about £10,000 less on its price tag. We're more focused on who we are, not what people think we are. That's the key. Thank you.